There we go. I had another video playing at the same time. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of TST. It is August 24th. It is 12:21 a.m. in the morning. Yes, it is a little late. I guess I'll let it finish. There we go. It's Fortet. No, I was just hearing the other drop. There we go. What up? Welcome, everybody, to another episode. Yeah, it's been crazy for me recently. From getting back to just pretty much getting back in the swing of things, trying to get my welding to moving to just general kind of contracting, which is my Tristan's contracting. I've been working on that. Just trying to get all my pretty much my get my truck ready. My truck's getting I got to do some things to that, and then some other things to the trailers, and then et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, so that's what I've been busy with. If not, then I would have been on here way earlier. I would have been a little bit more better prepared. But overall, here I am. And cheers to the microphone because I just hit it. Also, Stevie's in the background. Stevie's joining us too. So I'll just go right into it. Obviously, I'm a little late to the party, but the whole Ian Gary Islam fight, which happened last weekend, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, everybody knows about it. Before I even show this reel, I do want to go into why I am mentioning after the fact of after the fight, which is about a week. Week has already gone by. Um, my deal is like, even when I spar and I'm sparring, it's kind of one of those deals where, I'm still being careful, even though we do have equipment, even though we do have, things to protect yourself and things to, you know, kind of just be preventative of getting hurt or whatever. But then again, these are guys that you're training with, and these are guys that you kind of trust. So, that being said, you know, but I do know that, and it's kind of just the energy of what you feel. Um, but I do believe that when you when you are competing, that's a whole different level of thinking when you're competing because you're competing to win. Now, some people might say, otherwise, but as far as I know, I just know that more than likely, especially in, when it's dealing with MMA or anything dealing with boxing or anything competitive where it's one on one, ideally you want to win. So my thing to Ian Gary was just the fact that I didn't understand that either of him just like, kind of giving a hug or, you know, I mean, that's almost what you do when you're sparring with the guys that you train with, not with the opposite fighter that you're trying to be the world champion. So I believe like he got there, and when he got there, I don't know. I don't think he just had it in him. So um, Dana White had something to say about it, and I kind of wanted to go ahead and mention it. So we'll go ahead and play it.
A little bit, behind the scenes, and yeah.
All right, there we go. All right, so here we go.
That's the business we're in. Lots of crazy shit happens every day in this business.
Thanks for the answer.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got just a question going back to last week with Ian Machado Gary going into that 5th round. I was just curious, like you said, you wanted to you would have liked him to go out there and annihilate, the champion in the 5th round. Do you think—
I didn't say I would have liked him to do that. What I said was, you get this opportunity, you've worked your whole life to get there, and you come out in the 5th round after you do all this great work, which I thought I literally said to Hunter, when the first round started, Islam had him up against the fence and was holding on to him and I said, if this is a game plan for 5 fucking rounds, Islam's going to be in big trouble in the 5th round, in my opinion. And I thought that Ian Gary did good work leading up to the 5th round, and I'm assuming that was the game plan. And you want to come out and start hugging and shaking hands and, tell him how fucking great he is when they're putting the belt on you. It's just he might never have that opportunity again, and probably will never get the opportunity at Islam again, who is going to go down as, one of the all-time greats, if not the greatest, by the time he's done. So you have 5 fucking minutes. Every second of that round counts. Don't waste 10 seconds telling this guy you fucking love him.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, like, if it comes down to like a fight or flight thing at the start of that round, do you think that's something that can be taught, or do you think it's a mentality that's naturally in certain guys?
Well, you either have it or you don't, in my opinion, or you made the mistake one time and you won't do it again. We'll see how it plays out. And again, I'm not shitting on Ian. I mean, he's a classy guy. He's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, but be a fucking nice guy when that 5 minutes is up. You be as nice and as classy as, you have 5 minutes to try to fucking finish one of the greatest of all time and have that belt wrapped around your waist. And from then on, you can tell Islam you love him and how great he is, and you can shake his hand and hug him and take pictures with him or whatever you want to do. You have 5 fucking minutes to win. That was my point. Good? Good night, guys. And thanks, Sacramento. You guys are awesome.
All right, yeah. So you know what I'm what I was saying was, he just said it right there and then, he just didn't have the I guess he didn't have the eye of the tiger, almost like Rocky, remember Rocky had the, eye of the tiger, and I just don't think he had the eye of the tiger, I mean, I think only some fighters do have it, but even then, I'm probably gonna get flagged on this, but whatever. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get flagged on this, but whatever. All right, you know what I'm talking about. All right, yeah. All right, you get my point, because they're gonna flag me on that. So, that's what sucks about this whole platform. Anyways, but you see my point. Didn't have it. He got there, and I mean, I'm just basing on what Dana White said. Dana White said that he didn't have it. Some guys have it, some guys don't. I mean, what else are you gonna do? I mean, this is one of those things where it's like, this was actually a very good fight. I thought it was a very good fight, It was a good, still quality fight, but at the same time, it was just like, what was that? Dude was like hugging him, like saying, "Oh, this and that," and Ian Gary said he did better, but I mean, like I don't know, he could have maybe knocked him out. I don't know what happened, and I don't know. But I mean, I'm still talking about it. It's been about a week or so about afterwards, and then even Dana White was still asked about it, and he topped off last night's fight night. Um, I posted something on my Facebook, and um, it was a good fight that Hernandez won. That was the main event. I know he beat the other. I just know the fight night last night. I wasn't able to watch it. I was out, celebrating family celebration. But yeah. So on to the next. On to the next. Turns out that Spider-Man Brand New Day has surpassed obviously what it should be surpassing. I mean, it's been in theaters. I didn't, they did my boy Spider-Man wrong. Spoiler alert. I don't care now because if you didn't see it, then that's on you. But that was just messed up about with Mary Jane, or MJ just not even remembering him, and I still think she's lying. I think she's lying in the movie. I think it's like a big lie because then before he leaves, um, he gives like a handshake to Ned, and then Ned's hand remembers, So it's like, yo, man, like, okay, so you remember that, but you don't remember, you know, but then MJ doesn't remember who you are. Tell you, man, scandalous. But yeah, after that, I was like, man, I kind of don't like Zanette. I don't like her character now. I was like, I hope he ends up like, doing something with the other girls, in the other, like, I guess it was the girl, like, kind of mimicking, because Mike Flick did say that he gave him like Sam Raimi or Rami, um, the director that directed the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. It kind of gave those kind of feelings, and it was kind of true. I kind of believe it. So I thought it was very interesting on just how it kind of went into showing more of Spider-Man. I did enjoy how in the movie it pretty much was mainly it reminded me of like the TV show, because you see him more like as Spider-Man. He's like talking to the cops. He's like cool. He's like, oh, they're kind of doing things. It did end up making total as of right now 2.22 billion globally. It currently stands as the fifth highest grossing film of all time worldwide. Wow. So Tom Holland, man, you have to make another one. And then there wasn't like much introduction to the like Miles Morales. There wasn't much of that. I didn't get that because I kind of wanted to see more of that. But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, the whole part where you know, it's like there's a part where she pretty much tells him, this is another spoiler alert. She pretty much tells him like, "Yo, I don't remember you." In Spider-Man, he's Tom Holland at the time, and then she's like, "Oh, okay." So she like read a letter, and the letter is actually explaining that like her mind was erased, and memories of him weren't going to be remembered, and there's who he was, and this and that, and then she reads it while he was out, being Spider-Man, and then he comes back to his where he has her being safely at, like kind of doing the whole thing of keeping her safe. and it's at Punisher's place. And pretty much at that point, she then explains to him that she doesn't remember him at all. So she doesn't have no feelings for him. So don't even dwell on it. Don't even think about it because it's not going to happen because she doesn't remember him. And then you just see him just completely crushed. You just see him almost you see it you watch Tom Holland just crush. So then she leaves, and then as she leaves, she comes back and she says, "Oh yeah, I don't have my phone, so do you think you can give me home?" So then it's almost you see him webbing her home, and then I was like, "Yo, girl, you better get an Uber or I don't know, you better go holler at Ned or your roommate or holler at that dude or something. I don't know. I'll let you use Punisher's phone. That's the direction I would have went on that part of the movie. But it didn't. Instead, she said, "Yeah, can you kind of web me home?" So then Spider-Man ended up webbing her home, and then got her home, and then he went upstairs and hung out with Ned, and then became kind of cool again. But then it was so weird because he's being Spider-Man. He's not he has his mask on, so he really doesn't know. Ned really doesn't know who he is. He just knows he's Spider-Man hanging out with him. So it was pretty cool in that part. So on to the next thing. You know what? CVN 72. Abraham Lincoln is coming home. Yes. For everybody that automatically cares now about the Navy, and everybody automatically worried about all these sailors that they've been out to sea since November, which is pretty crazy because that is a long ass time to be out to sea. I'll give him that. I will give him that. That must have oh my god. I can only imagine, man, not porting for that long. I don't know. What are you gonna do? Man, there's only so much you can do, so much working out you can do, so much it's just time. You're just watching the clock. If you already know that you're out there and you don't even know when port is gonna even happen or occur, you know? So I got into a discussion because everybody's also talking about, the conditions of living on the ship, the conditions of being on the ship, and the food is this or that. And people don't understand. Also, you got to come prepared to be prepared for that. And also, you got to have care packages sent to you. Um, and they get to you, but I think that would be the life of anything right there would be the care packages. Um, the care packages has just helped so bad, so much because, I've gotten beef jerky and just, I used to get gummy bears. I used to get candy, um, all types of just things just to hold me over when I was there. Because you got nothing else better to do besides just work 12 hours on, 12 hours off. Most time, at the time when I was my last deployment, I was doing a lot of help with the line shack. So I would actually go up and inspect the jet and then send it off. And then, it was, I don't know, it was pretty cool, I guess. Um, but at the time, I think the max that they were out to sea altogether, the whole deployment was about 9 months, and it was the same ship. And then my enlistment ended during when they were extended. And I kind of regret not staying in, not staying in a little longer. But overall, the life of being on the ship, it is what it is. It sucks. It's not cool. And I do feel the ones that kind of go kind of a little bit off are the ones that are with families and kids. them, calling back home saying they're just going to look crazy being out to sea, because being out to sea that long, it does kind of mess with your head a little bit. If if nobody's known how it feels being out to sea that long and not hitting a port. Um, I don't know, but I mean, it's kind of like you expect it. Like if things are really like if crap hits the fan and you're really out there working, I mean, it is what it is. But man, it just sucks if there's like no hot water at least. All I ever asked was like hot water. That's it. I just need a good hot water over my body, and then I'm in bed, and that's good. I'm good. You know. Um, Hopefully you don't work nights. If you do work nights, then yeah, you get kind of like the shitty food. But if you work during the day, you kind of get the good food. But at night, you kind of get the crappy food. So I mean, that's what I said. It's kind of just, man, it is what it is. But it's the life of being. I mean, I can even just picture it in my head right now, because when you're out to sea, that ship does not sleep. That ship is like 24/7. 24/7, 7 days a week. Ship doesn't sleep. Ship is moving. Ship's being guided. Ship is getting the intel, where to be, where to go, um, the weather, everything. So I mean, at the same time, I mean, hats off to all these sailors that were on that, carrier, and the fleet, the all the air squadrons. Obviously they had I believe they had. I don't know if they had F-35s on there. But obviously they had the F-18s, the Super Hornet. Obviously that's some Helos, and they had the E-2 Hawkeyes. But yeah, so it's kind of interesting to me. I'm just glad that they're coming back. I just also wanted to say, you know, I'm just glad they're coming back because, they've been gone for a while. So hats off to them. So have safe sails. Apparently, I would think they would be going to Hawaii before they pulled in San Diego, but I believe I would love to go to Hawaii because when you get to Hawaii, you got all that money saved and oh yeah, you all out. Like especially like when you roll into Hawaii. The time I did it was just, oh man, it's pretty cool. It was really cool. But yeah, wow. And it's been a minute. I've got out like in 2012, so I mean, at the same time, it's just kind of one of those things where um, you think back and you're like, wow, man, these guys have been out there since November. So like a whole year, new year happened. January, February, March, April, May, June, July. But see, at the same time, I would say they're actually out there actively. I mean, they're actually bombing. They're messing shit up. I mean, they're doing active work. So I mean, it's not that they're just sitting around just twiddling thumbs. So I mean, I would say that would make the time go by a lot quicker. I mean, and then also when you're maintaining the jets, when you're maintaining that ship, when you're standing your watches, I mean, I don't know. I just know like if you do right, a lot of people got promoted during that whole cruise, and they're going to get pinned for being out there, for doing what they did and being out there that long. Yeah, so I mean, I think they all should be proud of what they did, because I think it does take a very strong mindset, and hopefully when they get back, they're just more thankful of what they did, and you know being coming back in one piece, coming back safely, to be with their family or friends, whatever. So pretty interesting. This story kind of got to me. So since this whole Iran thing, there's a director called Roman Goffman. Roman Goffman. He's actually so the Mossad is obviously, if nobody knows, Mossad is pretty much comparable to the CIA of the United States. That being said, there's a gentleman whose name is Roman Goffman, and he was inserted as pretty much the head over the Mossad. And that's been since June 2026 that he was moved in. Before that, he was actually Netanyahu's prime minister of Israel. He was actually his security deputy, I believe. Ooh, I got that. I might have that wrong. I wrote this off earlier, so I'm kind of going off of just memory. So he went from being pretty much his advisor, which I believe it was like dealing with the military, obviously, to being the head of Mossad. So what the story is going around right now is that recently there's an Iran division within the Mossad. Mossad is comparable, like I said, it's comparable to, their intelligence agency. Their whole purpose is to collect intelligence amid of other things, or I guess among of other things amid. What am I saying? So it's among of other things as well. Don't want to go diving down that rabbit hole just yet. So obviously, another thing I would say, a lot of people are explaining about, with America being at war with Iran. But I would also have to say at the same time, it's pretty much Israel. And Israel's deeply involved just as much as we're involved, obviously, as of now. But yeah, so that being said, recently the news, and obviously it's news that I believe was purposely put out there for a reason. And so there's an Iran division within the Mossad intelligence agency, and within this agency, that's Roman Goffman off to the side, and then the Syrian, I believe he's a Syrian political figure from Syria, discussing some other things. So anyways, like I said, he recently, they put out the news that two, I guess you could say some senior officers, you would say some that were over the Iran division of, I guess the idea, which was getting intel from Iran, getting intel to obviously move forward with what was going on during this whole time, as in getting an intel, because like I said, Israel has always had intel on Iran through this channel of of being, like I said, it's a deep wormhole, so I don't want to dive too much into it. My whole point was saying that two were just fired. And when they were fired, and I'll just go ahead and bring up the YouTube. So they were fired. So now it's all over the news saying that, with these intelligence chiefs being fired, and I'll bring it up. They're to blame why this war was even started and why it failed. So, it's kind of, so it's two senior officials, and these two senior officials are, part of the Mossad. And it could be going with one way or the other. And one way it would be, it could be very well just saying that they're showing they're to blame, or there's it's just like, my whole point of even bringing this up is just like, people have to understand where I'm coming from. My whole point of coming from is obviously America should have good intentions to go forward with whatever they have to go forward with. Obviously in this situation, it's like little things are popping out, and these things that are popping out, it's just really kind of ironic to me that they're showing like disruption in an intelligence department that's deeply involved with the war that we're dealing with as we speak. And it's just surprising to me because most of the time you would think that, and I'm not trying to be naive either, don't get me wrong, but my whole point is just saying that um and this just speaks for itself right here. So Mossad chief fires 2 senior officials over alleged failed Iran regime change plan. So are they? And then they're not going to list the names of who these people got fired. Or he says he fired them. I mean, because there's other news out there stating that these 2 senior officials were moved to another department. So yeah, they might have gotten fired from the specific Iran division of of the department itself. They have an actual Iran division, which I guess specifically, obviously there's major intel, specific intel, which we would never know or know what's in that. But it's just very ironic that they put this news out there. Hey, put it out there that we fired 2 senior officials. So it's like, I feel sometimes in a way it's almost like an scapegoat. They're just putting things out there, and then this guy, like I said, Roman Goffman, he's only been in charge since June. So that's been, July, August, and then he's already doing this change around. So when he first got started just recently in June 2026, apparently there was a guy that was a deputy senior. He was like a very senior Mossad, he was high up there, and he had like over like 22 years, 23 years in there. And I guess he got pretty much forced out. So I mean, there is some type of disruption. I feel there's some type of disagreements because of when you see things like this being put out there. It could be also one way an scapegoat, because they're also saying that this also shows to take blame off of Netanyahu. But who really knows? But I also think it's very interesting. I am going to look more into see what kind of where this kind of takes me, but I had just thought it was kind of interesting to point out, just the fact that, you know, that this intelligence department happens to fire 2 senior officials. Um, because, I don't know, they're putting the blame. I mean, obviously they are, but I mean, as in specifically, like Iran was supposed to fall and it didn't. And I mean, there's also speculation that the actual that the operation didn't even follow through, like it didn't even get completed. So I mean, I don't know. It's just crazy to me that um, failure on intelligence on kind of both ends, um, and you kind of will never know, and you kind of really never know the real reason of what's what. So I was going to show. So I've been into this whole Texas street fights, and Well, these people are crazy, man, you know? Um, and see, these people are crazy, man. You gotta be careful out here, you know? Gotta be careful. Hold on. So yeah, this is Texas Street Fights. And you know, I don't know. And then I'll go ahead and end it off, y'all. But you know, it's already been one. But at least I got on here for episode 59, you know. Kind of went on down a rabbit hole on that homicide thing, but thanks. Appreciate it. Here we are. See what happens here. And she seems like kind of older too. See, that's why I don't go to Austin, like I said before, too much. The guy in the back still plays the guitar. Look at the guy in the back still playing the guitar. Hey, watch out there, homie. There's a little scooter there. See, man, he don't care. He's over there playing the music. I don't know why homeboy went over there. They're supposed to be like I always feel they must be drunk, you know. My girlfriend was attacked. She was attacked. We have to watch another one before I go. Let me watch this one. This one's 3 months ago. Yo, that's Crip Matt. Oh yeah, hold up. Uh-oh. Austin PD in the house. Like, oh. It's like, what? And see, they go up and they spray. So, I mean, they have to de-escalate. So, I mean, hey, man, I don't blame them. That's why I say I don't go out no more. Somebody steps on your shoe. They're like, hey, you stepped on my shoe. Or you stepped on their shoe. They're like, hey, you stepped on my shoe. Those are my white shoes. Makes you know you're swinging. Damn, look, they're just taking her away. That sucks. Because, you know, half these people, they don't expect to go out and go get arrested, you know. They just wild out, you know. Things happen. A few drinks. Uh-oh.
Hey, what you talking about?
There. That's messed up. That's wrong. Another this is a team takeover over there. Well, that was July 4th. There's another good one. Well, I mean, it's not good, but I mean, I'm just saying, it just shows to be careful out there, you know? Be careful. It's concrete. It's bad. It's not worth it. Definitely not worth it. What's up, homie? There's cops, homie. All right, everybody. Ooh. Ooh. Ow. Don't run. I mean, you hear him coming behind you. It's like, come on, what are you doing? Like, you hear him coming behind you. Like, just stop. Like, I didn't hear you. Like, come on, bro. Like, you heard him. Oh, man, these girls over here. They go in the alleyway. It's over here like it's like 5th grade or something, like 6th grade behind the. Oh my god. Yeah, it's a little wild out on that one. Alright, everybody. I think I showed this one before. Alright, everybody. Yeah, I'm getting a little too involved in this. let me put something else on a softer note.
You had that eye of the tiger, man, the edge. And now you got to get it back. And the way to get it back is to go back to the beginning. You know what I mean? Maybe we could win it back together. Eye of the tiger, man.
Boom, boom, boom. All right. See, I can't play that whole song. I would love to play it, but I can't. So I'll play this instead. All right, everybody. Well, thanks. Episode 60 is going to be coming out very soon. definitely working on that. So I'll let y'all know. But thank you for hanging in there with me, just checking out. Thank you for pretty much just still tuning in. Thank you. Thank you.